Hey guys, I'm really excited about this video. It's going to be really fun with the ChatGPT and AI craze that's going on right now and will obviously continue to go on for a long time. But I'm going to ask ChatGPT a question about fixing erectile dysfunction. Literally live. I have not done this before. I want to do it live and actually respond to see if it is in fact correct or if it's missing any important information. So it's going to be really cool. I want to point out that I help men to overcome sexual dysfunction, premature ejaculation, and ED, things like that. And E, who's age 36, completed our program, which is called Vigor. And he said, after doing the Vigor program, I have felt a big difference in my erections and also control over my breathing during sex. So it's really awesome to hear another success story. Definitely check out the program if you want to truly change your sex. It's really about changing you, and then it changes your sex. But we'll talk about this question now, and I'm going to go ahead and start recording my screen so that this happens in real time. Yeah, good old, not really old, good new ChatGPT. We're going to ask the question, what are the top 3 things to do to heal erectile dysfunction? So what are the top 3 things to do to heal erectile dysfunction? All right. Let's see what we get. I'm not a doctor, yes. Okay. 3 general steps for managing ED. Managing ED is already the answer. And I just want to point this out. Top 3 things to do to heal erectile dysfunction was literally my question. And I'm going to be quite critical of AI because we need to get the clearest answer possible if we are going to lean onto technology in ways like this. Often consider for managing, if you're dealing with it, managing. I literally asked Hill though, and what I mean by this is I want to know how to make yourself whole again. That's what healing means. Okay, we'll move on to that. That's just me being a little annoyed by the word choice. Consult a doctor. Yes, consult a doctor. See if there are any underlying causes of your ED that would be biomedical. Cardiovascular problems, diabetes, hormonal imbalances, stress, anxiety, depression, which are psychological factors, by the way. So that's useful. Definitely you do want to start off by consulting with a doctor. That's always the number one thing I would say as well. We want to rule out structural abnormalities. We want to know, is there anything major going on? Tissue damage, any major hormonal issues that might need some sort of biomedical intervention, or some structural factor from a recent acute injury. We'll move on to lifestyle changes. Okay, a healthy diet is in general going to improve cardiovascular health, that's true. Regular exercise does improve blood circulation and will also boost your mood, that's right. Stress reduction. This is a very simplistic answer, but by all means, reducing stress is very important. Limiting alcohol and smoking, okay. So now it's pretty much saying your doctor might recommend one of these treatments. It's not really giving you information to empower you, though, as an individual. It's more of saying, here are other channels you could utilize that might potentially give you answers, which is understandable. Depending on the underlying cause of your ED, which you would have to work with someone who's very good at identifying a root cause anyway, medications can improve blood flow to the penis. Hormone therapy, penile implants, or psychological counseling. Remember, the appropriate approach to treating ED will depend on underlying causes, medical history. Work closely with a healthcare professional. So honestly, this answer isn't bad. It's not a bad answer. It's very general. It's a little biomedical focused because what you'll find is that ChatGPT is aggregating data that's coming from the medical industrial complex to a degree. Published papers and accredited legitimate medical institutions receive a more biased, higher level of input when it comes to Google and other search engine aggregators, and then also things like AI. Whenever we see burgeoning mind-body oriented information that some might call pseudoscience, even though there is also legitimate research backing it up, what I'm trying to point out is that this really, really important mind-body based information that will actually help you to identify the true root cause of your ED. If you have what I would call psychological ED, so if you have structural ED, you had a penis injury, you had something that legitimately happened in recent past that hasn't healed yet, understandable. And there are other things, of course, that are on here. But for the rest of you, if you are dealing with something and you've already tried those approaches and you don't want to take pills, and you don't want to use a penile implant or pump, you don't want to depend on something outside of yourself, that last step here does say psychological counseling. If psychological factors are causing or exacerbating ED, counseling or therapy might be beneficial. And of course, the type of therapy is important, or the type of approach that you take. So like in our Vigor program, we address a lot of this. Obviously, we recommend that you consult a doctor just to make sure that you're medically okay. And then from there, we give you movement routines that give you regular exercise, relaxing your pelvic floor, strengthening your pelvic floor. We do mindfulness meditations. We do reprogramming meditations as well. We're doing deep breathing practices. It talks about a healthy diet, but it doesn't talk about breathing. The breath is like our primary diet that most ignore because this is happening all the time in health and wellness in general. If you haven't read the book Breath by James Nestor, I highly recommend it because you'll understand just how important our breath is for all of our well-being and why spirit, breath, all these words in so many different languages are oftentimes synonyms, breath and spirit, for example. So long story short, ChatGPT, you did a pretty good job on a top level, safer type of response, right? Just to not be medically liable or something, I guess, with an answer. But I just want to point out the fact that it's really important that you dig deeper into repressed emotions, trauma, psychological conflicts, stress-inducing personality traits, behaviors, sitting here with anxiety, depression, and stressors, and the way that you respond. So in our program, again, we do things like witness consciousness, creating a separation between your body and your thoughts and your emotions, and being able to perceive with non-reactivity. We do a lot of other practices like this that help us to calm down our nervous system, to come into this present moment, which will always help you have the best sex anyway. And then yes, we'll do other Taoist sexual energy practices that can help even with your erections and your longevity, those sort of things. So long story short, thank you ChatGPT for the answer. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I just wanted to do it live to see what would come out. Let me know what you thought. If you have any other comments, any other tips that you want to share with anyone who's watching, I'll see you next time.